G'day guys, Luke here. Welcome back to another video. In today guys, we are doing the Reptile update for the fourth quarter of 2025. So next time you see a full update of everyone here will be in the new year. A lot has changed in the last, 3 months. So let's dive in and see what's actually happened. But today we're starting with Atrum and Aurelia, who are two diamond pythons. Currently the one out and about is Aurelia. He had a good feed, so he's just trying to find a nice spot to digest his food. Then his cage mate Atrum's just laying down here in his hide. Currently in shed, so he wasn't that interested in food. So both snakes are doing exceptionally well. They are both housed in a 127 enclosure or 4-foot enclosure. In the enclosure itself, we've got the coconut fibre as a substrate, water bowl, 3 hides in them for them to go into, a couple of branches in here from the climb on and as well perch on. We've got a backing just to set up the enclosure quite nicely. We've got the LED UV light bars and a heat element for these two beautiful snakes. Above Atrum and Aurelia, we've got my breeding pair of central carpet pythons, Chappie and Orchid. The one we're currently looking at is Orchid, who had a good decent rat this morning, so she's in the hide here, just going to sleep it off. Plus, she's probably still hungry for more as she is quite a big girl. Her cage mate, or her partner in crime, Chappie, currently in shed as well, so he wasn't also not interested in food. And of course, since he's in shed, he's not as handsome as he usually is. But once he sheds, he'll be a very stunning boy. They're both also housed in a 120cm enclosure. In their enclosure, we just got aspen bedding as a substrate, water bowl, a couple of hides, a couple of branches as well. Got a heat element, a couple of fake plants, and just a normal light tube on top of them to display the enclosure. Making our way across the room, we've got Superstar and Graham, two of my older snakes in the family. Now these are both female blonde spotted pythons. Superstar will be 16 in November, Graham will be 16 in December. So this one, sorry Superstar, the one in shade is Superstar, she's the older girl, while one over here, the skinny, lighter brown one, is Graham. Both are coming off food, but still doing exceptionally well. No dramas whatsoever, these two. Oh, sorry, Superstar. Pop their hide back over the top of them so we can leave them be. They are housed in a 90cm enclosure. In the enclosure, we've got 3 hides for them to go into. They really like to share that one together. They always do. Got a water bowl, branch, a rock, piece of wood, fake plant, backing. We've also got a heat and display light above them. Then we're going across to their new neighbours. So for those who are new to the channel, we had pretty much a lot of deaths recently, which is very unfortunate. It sucked, not going to lie. So back in July, I think it was, Charles, my Abby and Darwin passed away quite suddenly. My guess was cancer because the way Charles went downhill so quickly, it was very similar to what happened to Molly, the way things went down. Then within an 18-day period in August, we lost Taz, who was one of the sheriff skinks from old age. Then just out of the blue, Azula dropped as well as Snickers. So a very short span of time, we lost 3 and it sucked. So August as a month was a very dark month for myself and the reptile room. So bouncing back and hopefully we don't have any more deaths for a little while. It's going to happen sooner or later, but I don't want to have any more anytime soon. So we've got Aaron and Emma housed together now. So they're going to be my breeding pair of children pythons. Got to be careful because Emma had a feed and I do believe Aaron could be gravid. The way I tell these two apart is when you have light on them, Aaron's got a very light shade of brown, while Emma's a bit darker. But if you look at Emma's face, see that stripe going through his eye? Then if I gently get little Aaron's head, hey gorgeous, she's more of a lighter shade with her striping along her face. So, and plus her head is just a little bit different to Emma's as well. So that's how I tell the two snakes apart. You okay, Aaron? Put the hide down so I don't freak Aaron anymore and let Emma do his job of protecting her. He's a very good boy when it comes to defending his girls. He's very good with Azula and he's been very good with Aaron so far. So these two are housed in a 100cm enclosure. In the enclosure itself, we've got 3 hides in here for them, snake bedding, a couple of fake plants, a water bowl, a fake rucksack to utilise the enclosure a bit more, branches, fake plants, their heating, and so the light strip they share with pretty much half the room. Dropping below them, we've got Chris, who is my black-headed python. She's housed in a 180cm enclosure, so a 6-footer. She's just in this hide here. Had a feed this morning, so she might still be in food mode. That's the only downside for feeding her on the Tuesday or doing filming on the Tuesday. She does get very food orientated. So here she is in her glory. She's probably pushing about 8 feet, but every time I pull her out, I feel like she's getting longer, or at least she's getting heavier. But the thing is, though, she doesn't look much thicker. every time I pull her out. So she could be getting longer for all I know. Apart from that, she's doing very well. Apart from a Tuesday, any day of the week, she's a very friendly snake and very cuddly too. Never have any issues until I feed her. So in enclosure, we've got two very large hides in here for her to retreat into. That's been banned as a substrate, water bowl, fake plant, a branch that she will use from time to time. We've got the backing, a light, as well as her heat where she's kind of sitting to digest her very big meal she just had a moment ago. Down to the bottom enclosure on this wall here, we've got Ray, who is my Rosenberg monitor. He's doing actually pretty well considering a few months ago he was trying to tear my fingers off my hand. He's getting much better with handling every time I do so. Now, his enclosure has been put on pause for his outdoor one, I should mention, as Bruce and Shigo's once more under construction, more of a priority. So once their enclosure is done, he'll be going outside after them, hopefully by the end of the years to go. Apart from that, he's still housing 187 enclosure in his enclosure. Got his hide, a couple of rocks where he's kind of sitting to get some extra heat because his heat lights is above him. Pretty dusty. I need to give this cage a good old clean out very soon. Got a couple of LED light bars in here. A hammock that he will actually use. He's destroyed his fake plants though, so they're pretty much useless. Got his branch. He will get a couple more when he goes outside. Water bowl. So his current cage now is 180 by 60 by 60. I think the outdoor one would be, 180 by 120 by, I can't remember if it's 60 or 90 centimeters tall, but it'd be much bigger, pretty much double what he's in now. So hopefully you enjoy that, buddy. Going from our biggest goanna in the family to our smallest goanna. So here we have Rosie, my Reptile monitor, currently housed in this 120 centimeter enclosure, doing exceptionally well. Had a good feed yesterday as he's looking quite fat. Apart from that, he's a very acrobatic little guy. He'll go around everywhere in this enclosure, go up, down, left and right. He's a very active guy of an afternoon. In the morning, he's like me, doesn't want to get out of bed. So, okay, so I can relate to that little bugger. Sands has substrate, got a couple of branches in here from the climb on, a fake rock stack that the other day he actually destroyed, which is quite impressive since he's such a small lizard. And these are all put together with like a kebab stick. So he was able to disassemble that somehow. Put a couple of fake plants in here, just add a bit of greenery in here. Got his hide over here that's got wet sand there, so he can have a bit of a dig, bit of a burrow in there. Got his water bowl, which I did yesterday, is now filled with sand again. So thank you. We've got his heat and his UVB in here as well. Above Rosie on this shelving unit, we've got a pair of 67 enclosures that houses a male blood-spotted python in the name of Caesar and a young male children's python in the name of Valentino. So Caesar's currently in this enclosure here. He's kind of in a painful spot to get him out. So I won't disturb him too much as, like I said, feeding day. He'll be sleeping that off. So here's a photo of him, if I remember, in editing to put it up. So in his enclosure, we've got his bedding, water bowl, 3 hides in here. Got a heat pad on this side, but he also gets heat from Rosie from below. He shares a backing with Valentino. He's got branches in here to climb on. A hide that he actually likes it to be suspended. He actually spends a lot more time up in this hide when he doesn't have food in his belly. And he shares a light strip with everyone else you're about to see. His name is Valentino. So Valentino here is actually the son to Emma as well as Zula. So at least Azula's spirit can still be a part of Valentino. But the thing with Valentino is he looks very much like his dad. Here he is. He's a good boy for the most part, except for food. Very much like Chris, where he'll try to eat meat instead of the mouse I give him. So, yeah, that's fun. So he's in the enclosure here. So another 60 centimeter bedding, water bowl, a couple of hides, a heat pad where he's currently sitting at the moment. He's got a fake rock stack there he can go under. And the good thing about these fake rocks is very light, so I'm not worried about the animal getting squashed. Branches that he will sometimes use, and of course that backing I just mentioned. The last 2 snakes in this room before we go out and say goodbye to Bruce and Shigo, as well as the fur baby as Boss, who you'll see as well. Then we're going to the lizard room to wrap it all up. So we've got a pair of 70 centimeter enclosures that houses my 2 brown tree snakes in. So in both enclosures, we've got a heat pad on the bottom. We've got multiple hides for the snakes to go into, water bowls, branches, fake plants, the light strip as well that goes around pretty much everywhere. And of course, a backing that all incorporated cave system into for the 2 snakes to go into if you're more secure. We're going to say goodbye to Willow. Willow currently still off food and still a very fired up young lady. But for the most part, when I do get her out, after a couple of minutes, she calms down. So she is getting much better. Just recently shed her skin, so she's looking much brighter. But when Diablo sheds his skin, he's much more of a lighter shade of brown. So that's another way I can tell these two apart. Plus, Diablo's more friendlier. Speaking of the devil himself, he's currently over here. Can't see his little face today because he's in shed. He is a bit more shy at first, but then he'll come out. Hey, buddy. He's a very good snake, very friendly. So when I do have friends and family come over, I do actually trust Diablo a lot more than Willow for my friends and family to hold, because he has not bitten me in a long, long time. And unlike Willow, where you go for the face, he will not. So he's a good boy. So that's the snake room wrapped up. Let's go and check out the rest, shall we? We are now going outside now to this brand new enclosure I just built recently. Before we actually dive into this enclosure, we actually got a new dog. This is Boss. He's our 1-year-old black Labrador. He's a cheeky bugger. But back to the cage itself. So this is a 175 by 90 by 97 enclosure. So that's a 6 foot by 3 foot by 3 foot. In this enclosure, we've got a trio of Gibson War Dragons. Before we actually get to them, this is the enclosure on the inside. So we've got a large container for water, sand and substrate, a couple of rocks in here for them to sit on and bask on, a few hides. There's a hammock they can also sit on, along with a couple of branches to get up nice and high. In the back corner as well, there is a hot box, so during the winter time, I can plug the heat source in and provide a bit of extra warmth for these guys. So this is the new enclosure. I finally got it done after a couple of months. The first Gibson War Dragon we are going to look at is Shigo. Now, Shigo here is getting much better with handling. She's more accepting than the others. Still a bit of work with everyone else, but we get there slowly. However, so far, Shigo seems to be enjoying her new enclosure. Her partner in crime, Bruce, he is still a little bit of work, but he's also enjoying the enclosure. He likes the height, so he's spending a lot more time at the top of the hammock here or on the branch. Then our newest member is Gamora, a very shy little individual, does not like me one little bit. But hopefully in due time, she'll warm up to me and at least eat out of my hands, ideally with superworms. Now, don't know if she'll be a permanent resident, which I'm hoping she will. She's kind of on loan for breeding, but I see how we go. But Gamora is technically part of the family, so she's here now. Making our way into the lizard room, starting with these pair of 67 enclosures. Now, if you were to watch the last update, in these two enclosures, we had Shio skinks in them. However, with the baby group we had here, we had to separate all the babies because they had started fighting. Then with the adult Shioks, there were 4 of them, but Taz passed away, leaving us with 3. And I decided to swap Toothless and the adults around as Toothless is growing at a rapid rate. So with both of these 67 enclosures, we've got my 2 Cunningham skinks, Meatlug and Toothless. We're going to the enclosures. They've got a heat pad that they share, 2 actual hides that they can go into for warmth, as compared to the substrate, a fake rock sack and each enclosure for them to wedge into, the LED UV light bars on top. Then just behind this hide here, we've got Meatlug. He's a very shy Cunningham, he doesn't like me one little bit, so I don't want to freak him out too much. He has his water bowl at the moment, as he's not really a big eater, so I feed him every couple of days. While the younger one, Toothless, he's getting much better with handling, so I want him friendly. So here he is. He's grown very, very quick, so that's why he's in this cage now. He's getting used to it slowly. He's only been in here for a couple of days now, actually, so at the time of recording, so in due time he will get used to his new home. But yeah, those are the 2 Cunninghams. Moving on to 9 out of the 10 Shio skinks we have in the family. So the one you won't see in this part would be Elizabeth, as Elizabeth is housed on the opposite side of the room on a different shelf, as her enclosure wasn't able to fit on this shelving unit, but you'll see everyone else. So the adult Shio skinks are housed in this 57 enclosure. So we've got Ghost, Gum, and Jara. So Ghost is the one in the back corner there, not a very friendly character. Then if I lift up this hide just here, we should have Gum. Gum's a very easygoing Shio, very friendly, doesn't seem to mind me very much. Then with the shy one, Jara, just hiding here. So these guys, like I said, are in this enclosure for the time being. Hopefully they can go back in a 60 centimetre later on. Plan is to put the Cunninghams outside. If all goes well, they'll stay out there with the Gibsons, ideally. If not, they'll just come back inside, back in the current cages, and the Sheiks will just stay put. But we'll see how we go. So in the enclosure, guys, we've got coconut fibre as a substrate, food bowl in the back corner, multiple hides, a water bowl. We've got a heat cord that pretty much runs throughout the whole shelf here for everybody to keep warm. And we have the LED UV light bar as well. So that's the trio of Shioks. Saturday was Taz last month, so it happens. Now, the 6 other sharks here are all housed in these 30 centimeter, but both 30 by I think 20 is the height. With each enclosure, they've got a heat core, like I mentioned previously. Coconut fiber substrate, which I wet down to one side, dried on the other side. Got the water bowl, piece of bark, and a proper hide in there for them. So up here we have Callisto. Now, Callisto and Elizabeth got into a fight. That's why I decided to separate every other sheep that were together. So that was kind of the last straw for me. So, yeah. This is Pearl. He's going well. He's probably one of the smaller sharks we have. Down here we have Will. He's probably buried underneath the log. Yep, there he is. Growing quick. Ever since I separated everybody, they've been growing a lot quicker. So it's a good thing I've done that, to be honest. There's Jack. He's just sticking his head out. He's made a burrow through the substrate, so we'll leave him be. Moving across to Davy. There's Davy. So Jack, Davy, and Barbosa were originally separated a long time ago before the other 4 were. I think Jack and Davy, or it was either Jack or Barbosa, or either those 2 were fighting, and I think the other one, I think it was Barbosa, he killed Sparrow, so that's why I decided to kind of separate them yet again, was I didn't want to lose another one. And the Barbosa is just hanging in there. So that's all 9 of the 10 sharks on this shelf. We'll move across and say g'day to Dusty. Next up, we have Dusty, who is the crazy character of the Reptile room. He's a black-headed monitor, and he's given the nickname Crazy because he's crazy. He's housed in a 140 enclosure. So in his enclosure, we've got sensor substrate, water bowl, food bowl. There's a few hides in this enclosure he can get into, a couple of fake plants to decorate the enclosure. He really loves his log here, this whole log I should mention, to hide into. That, or where he's currently sitting, he likes to sit between the LED light bar and the top of the enclosure. The reason why the light bar isn't flushed is because of the support bracket here is, well, there, so I can't really do much there. Then he's got his heat element on this side. But yeah, that is got all crazy Dusty. Below Dusty, in another 140 enclosure, we have the diva of the Reptile room. This is Akko. Now, Akko here is a female Eastern water dragon, and no, she will not be housed with Bruce and Shigo. She's a very special animal, this girl. Now, we don't have any favourites, but she is, well, special. So, in her enclosure, we do have a water bowl that she's currently soaking at the moment. Like any water dragon, doesn't last long when you clean it. Coconut fibre as a substrate. We've got a fake plant in the enclosure. Her diva sign that we kind of buried. A couple of branches in here for the climb on. Food bowl. She's got a bit of timber here to sit underneath her hit light. Her hide. A nice, beautiful backing to set off this enclosure quite nicely. As well as her LED UV light bar for UVB. On the bottom shelf, on the shelving unit, we have Monty and Anastasia, our 2 beautiful shingleback skinks. Now, Monty is the male, he's on the left-hand side, and Anastasia is our beautiful girl who's on the left. Now, I find it funny with these 2, not too long after I clean the enclosure, they have to kind of destroy it a little bit, so pardon the mess. So, these 2 are housed in a 127 enclosure. In the enclosure itself, we've got aspen bedding as a substrate, 2 hides that they can share, a couple of ramps again on top of this hide here, because right where they're sitting is where the heat is. Got the backing, LED UV light bar, their food bowl and water bowl. These guys don't need that much, otherwise if I put too much in here, they become pretty much bulldozers and just push everything over. But they're still cute though. In this 60cm enclosure right here, we've got Thumper, who is my Gigi skink. It's either he or Ray usually causes me a lot of trouble. He's a very chaotic little skink, gives me a hard time every day. But he's a good boy, I'll give him that. So with Thumper in his enclosure, we've got sensor substrate, food bowl and water bowl right at the front. Got his mushroom there that he likes to sometimes knock over. There is a proper hide in that back corner, but all this here is fake rocks that are just stacked on top of each other. All they are really is just a bit of foam with some tire pointing, a little bit of sand, and voila, we've got a fake rock stack. He really likes that because he can choose which level he wants to hide into. As well, if he sits right at the top here, he's right under his heat light, keep him nice and warm. With his backing, and as well as UVB as well. Thumper has a neighbour named Pedro. Now, Pedro here is a pink-tongued skink. He's very shy, very secluded little lizard. Often comes out during the night time, as he's a more of a nocturnal species. He's doing exceptionally well lately. He's been eating more regularly now since the weather's starting to warm up a little bit here in Australia. He's also housed in a 60cm enclosure. in his enclosure, we've got his water bowl, food bowl. There's a couple of hides on the ground. We've got his substrate. He's got his fake plants, a stick that he can use to climb up, and a backing that I've actually incorporated a cave into. So if he likes to go in there and hide, he can do so. So he's got his heat there, and just a little light strip on top of here just to illuminate the enclosure a little bit, but not too bright to disturb him. Apart from that, he's pretty good. Time to do a little bit of rapid fire here for this next part of the video. Starting off with Billy, who is one of 3 blue tongues we have in the family. Billy here is an Eastern blue tongue, a very young one of that, and a very mischievous one. I only cleaned the cage yesterday, and it hasn't taken her long to basically destroy it, as you can see. So we have a substrate that she's just pushed all over the place, a food bowl that she's buried, a water bowl that she's somewhat kept clean, with a rock, a hide, backing her UVB. She has a heat pad underneath her enclosure, underneath her hide there to keep warm. So she's the chaotic one of the 3. Next up, we've got Bo, who is the more older, wiser, and more laid-back blue tongue. Here he is in all his glory. Funny enough, both Bo and Billy went for a shed not too long ago, so looking absolutely fresh. The only difference between Bo and Billy's enclosure is, unlike Billy with Bo having a heat pad, Bo has a heat element, so that's the only real difference. Apart from that, the actual enclosures look quite identical. Above them, in a 3-foot enclosure or 90 enclosure, we have Blaine, who is a lowland blotch blue tongue. The other 2 are Easterns. Here she is, looking absolutely beautiful. This morning she woke me up because she decided to go crazy mode on us, going all over the place, destroying her home. Normally she is a very shy, little reserved blue tongue, so we don't see her often, and that's why she's in a 90 enclosure, as we feel like she'd do much better in here, in the 120. So she has 2 hides, 3 on water bowl, destroyed a 3 bowl today, blue tongues. Has a heat pad underneath this enclosure, or underneath this hide here, of course, under the enclosure, not inside. Backing, and her UVB. So that's the 3 blue tongues all at once. This little diamond python here is Aurora. Hopefully Aurora here is going to be a female, because I would love to breed diamond pythons one day. But if Aurora here is a male, then we are cursed. But saying that, Aurora is still a beautiful little diamond python. Just had a feed this morning like everybody else, so I've got to be careful not putting my fingers in there, because she does have a very good food response. Apart from that, she's a very friendly little snake, very inquisitive, and just likes to explore a fair bit. She's housed in a 50 centimeter enclosure for now. Until she gets a little bit bigger, she'll go into a 60 centimeter. So for now, as been bedding, water bowl, a couple of hides in here for to go into. She's almost outgrown them anyway. A couple of vines in here for to climb on. We've got her heat pad to this side here. You can see it sticking out here. Her backing, she shares a UVB light with Elizabeth, who is our other she-oak skink, who is over here by herself, away from the others, because she's trying to murder Callisto. So for now, she's just over here. She's probably the bigger of the she-oaks from that group, so it makes sense why she was a terrorist over there. You saw the other she-oak enclosures over there, so hers is pretty much identical. Then the last little lizard on this shelf is Sui. Sui here is a very secretive little skink, very much like Pedro. She's more of a nocturnal species of skink, being a sand swimmer. Apart from that, she's doing very well. Just during the day, you don't see her at all. She's somewhere buried in the sand, so I won't disturb her too much until she comes out later for hunting. So in the enclosure, it's another 50 centimeter enclosure. She's about 2 to 3 inches worth of sand to burrow into. That's why it's hard to find her quick. Got 3 proper hides in here for her to go into. One against the glass here. Bit of bark there she can go into. There's a proper hide in the back corner there where her heat pad is to keep warm. Water bowl, fake plant, her backing. Now she gets a little bit of light from the light just right there. Right, 2 more animals to go, and that'll be it for today's video. Our last 2 little members of the family we have is Charcoal and Luna, our 2 spine-tailed geckos. Now previously they were both housed in a glass enclosure with the sliding lids like the she-oaks. Unfortunately, I didn't really like the design flaw that these enclosures have. That if the lid wasn't closed properly, these guys could get out. As well, that little latch in the front, I was a big fan of that. So, got these little acrylic tubs to put them into. Now, Charcoal and Luna have their own little enclosures, but right now we're on breeding season. That's why they are together in this little tub here. So, Charcoal is this little darker one here that is not moving. It's trying to blend in with the soil. Put the hide back over him. Then this beautiful gecko here, Luna. She's possibly gravid with eggs at the moment, so go back in your hide, darling. I've got to be very gentle with her. So right now we're on breeding season for these guys, so they're in together. Once the breeding season is over, then they'll go back to being separated. Plus, if I do find these guys are breeding too much, I can at least separate them quite easily. Now just remember how to put the stick in. Think of some of that. I'll fix it up after the video. But anyway, guys, that'll wrap up the Reptile Room update for the fourth quarter for 2025. Thank you all guys for watching. Any questions, let me know down below. Or any comments in that fact, open for comments as well. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.